This episode is proudly supported by East Coast Beverages.
So my name's Samuel James Lentini. Really what's special about East Coast Beverages and about what we do is that we are vertically integrated. We grow, we squeeze, we bottle, we blend everything here on site. And not only that, I think what is really special is that all of the bars and restaurants and hospitality venues, they're able to come and visit our site. And once they come to our site, they see what our process is and they can actually see that the lemons, limes and oranges are all getting squeezed here, where we're not using a concentrate that comes from overseas. What is really special is that we invite people to come here. We have events here, and we're a family business, and we're able to really just work off the foundations that my grandfather built many years ago and continue a quality product range.
For more information, go to eastcoastbeverages.com.au.
There certainly is a future in hospitality, and there is a serious career in hospitality. This can be it, and it can be successful, it can be fruitful, it can be satisfying, it can take you around the world, it can keep you stable.
Hello everybody, it's Dani Valent here, and this is Dirty Linen. You are hanging out with me and my guest, I'll tell you in a minute, for a food chat. I am thrilled to be with you as always and grateful for your time. There are so many things you could be doing and oh my goodness, you chose to spend it with me. I'm grateful and I'm going to make it good because I value your time. We're also busy. Whether you're in the kitchen prepping, I love to hear about people listening while they're prepping, walking the dog, maybe on a treadmill, who knows where you might be. I don't know, traveling to the moon. I'm really glad to have you here for an episode of Dirty Linen. Today's guest is Alma Pasalic. She is the General Manager and Beverage whiz at Restaurant Botanic, a very special place in Adelaide's Botanic Gardens, looking out over glorious gardens, a beautiful pavilion to, let some parts of the world go and let other parts of the world in. Alma, welcome to Dirty Linen.
Hi, thanks for having me. Super excited.
I'm so excited. There is so much to talk about. We could start with the new book from Restaurant Botanic. We could start with your range of cheeky soft drinks. We could start with the fact that your non-alc beverage list has recently been honoured at the Wine List of the Year Awards. It feels like 2025 is kind of big for you.
Yeah, it's been massive, super exciting. Lots of projects that we've been working on for the past couple of years is just coming to fruition now, and we're just super excited to share with everyone.
For people who haven't had the extraordinary pleasure of going to Restaurant Botanic and perhaps haven't been there while you've been there, tell us about the restaurant.
So we're based in the Adelaide Botanic Garden in a heritage-listed site. It's a beautiful 20-seater intimate dining space, all about showcasing native Australian produce throughout all corners of Australia. And the whole idea is we're just amplifying and really celebrating those flavours with the botanicals we can source from the garden as well. So that's it in a nutshell, really.
What's the structure of the meal?
So set menu, tasting menu only. So our beautiful executive chef, Jamie Musgrave, he develops this set menu, goes for about 2.5, 3 hours. And it's lots of beautiful little bites, some larger plates that is just really focusing and honouring the native produce that we get to use every day in our creative space.
What are some of the ingredients that you get excited about?
All sorts. I really love, for us and in the beverage space, it's all about the botanicals. We've got Geraldton wax, some native basil, Illawarra plums have been a massive hit lately. But then in terms of the proteins, we are strictly looking at natives. So from Western Australian marron to emu from Victoria, to Murray cod from New South Wales, kangaroo from Pyro Estate. It's just all about the natives, really. So we love it.
It's pretty amazing. I think, I think most contemporary chefs and diners are thinking about Australian ingredients. It's pretty obvious. This is where we live, like what's grown here forever and how has it been used by the people who've been here for millennia. But I think it's still often a bit of a garnish or a bit of an addition, a bit of how can I sprinkle this somewhere? what's different about the way that you think about it?
So we definitely want to take the ingredient and utilize it as a whole and make it the center point of every dish or every beverage for that matter. So it is our job to really understand the ingredient as a whole, understand where it's from, understand how it grows, where it grows, and then really taking that flavor and making it the center point of whatever we do. So, I mean, I can speak for the beverage side of things. You know, we have this bunya and blood lime beverage, and the bunya pine branches, when you roast them, they've really got this beautiful chestnutty, almost astringency to them. And we really create that as a primary flavor profile, as well as the beautiful blood limes that give it that pithiness.
And bunya, bunya pines and bunya nuts, people might have heard of them, but you're in amongst them. Like, tell us about that tree, and actually, how do you harvest the bunya nut?
So basically, like, the trees are really, really tall. So when you're coming into the Adelaide Botanic Gardens, there's lots of them in Botanic Park, but in the gardens as well, there's quite a few. Really tall. They've got these really distinctive branches, and when they dry, they fall and they're really quite sharp. And the branches themselves, I mean, there is the nuts that you can use, but we really like to focus on the branches because there's an abundance of them. And it's that thing of utilizing the entire product, isn't it? So, and for us, I mean, for the beverage space, we were thinking, wine, you integrate oak. So how can we do that with whatever's in our backyard? And we're like, well, there's heaps of bunya branches literally scattering the ground. Let's do it. Let's just see how it goes. And I mean, that's just been a perfect example of how just kind of letting loose in the non-alcoholic world actually really does pay off.
Wow, that's really amazing. Tell me about a drink that you might serve me if I come for dinner.
Well, okay. I mean, there's heaps, and I really just geek out over it. So it's kind of, are you like a sweet or a savory person?
Savory.
Savory. All right, I'll give you this one. It's a little bit wild, but it's been like a cult classic since we've put it on. Basically, we call it the Sweet Tears Martini. So essentially, it's like, imagine like a riff on a Gibson Martini, but if you were to make it non-alcoholic. Basically, what we do is we make a sweet onion stock. So we cook down onions, and when you cook onions, they start to get sweet. So we make this stock from it. We clarify it. And basically, we stir down the sweet onion with desert lime vinegar and orange rind, almost like the vermouth. We serve it up martini style. So if you imagine, it's almost like sweet and pickly. We express a lot of fresh orange oil over the top as well. So you get that fragrance from it too. Definitely something a bit left field, right? But you got to trust us when you try it because it's been a cult favorite for a reason.
I fully trust you. I'm a martini girly, but yeah, sometimes I just don't want that big alcohol hit. So I think I would love that. Yeah.
100%. And I think that's where a lot of our passion for non-arts have come from. It's an extension of the creativity of the kitchen, and more people, they like alcohol. It's not like they're non-alc 100%, but they want to stagger it out. They want to split it up. But a softie is just, it's not always the answer. You kind of want something a little bit more serious, or at least have the option to it. And so the Sweet Tears will hit the spot for you on that one.
I reckon it certainly will. So I got an email about the Restaurant Botanic book, and one thing that struck me straight away, and I think the reason I'm chatting to you, Alma, is that it so often a book from a restaurant, it's from the chef. The chef is the hero. It's all about the food. I feel like this book is presented as a bit more of a collaboration. Can you tell me about the book, how it came about, and your part in it?
Absolutely. I mean, this book has been, like I said, we've been working on it quietly for a while now. And, Jamie's an incredible talent, and his food and his menu concept is absolutely insane. But what makes our dining experience so unique is that, plus the creativity of our pastry chef, Victoria, plus the knowledge and experience that Ellie, our wine director, has, plus our non-alcoholic. It's everything from everyone that you meet. We always joke like you're going to meet everyone along the way when you come to Restaurant Botanic, because that's the whole idea. And I feel like the book is a reflection of that. We've been working with Jono, the photographer, for a long time now. And we've always said, man, your photos are like art. The food is amazing and it's beautifully presented, but it really takes a keen eye to take a photo of it and deliver it in a whole new perspective. And so, we started talking about this book and we're like, oh, we don't really want to do a recipe book. I mean, the dishes are in there for sure, but we can give you more. We can do like a full it's all pictures, it's glossy, it's sexy, it's talking about the philosophy of everything, whether it's walking through the gardens, the change of the seasons. There's so much to talk about in a dining experience, more than just the food. And Jamie agrees as well, and he was driving it the whole way. He's like, look, there's so much to talk about. I don't want to just talk about me, which is refreshing as well. It's nice to see young professionals wanting to support everyone,
Yeah, I wonder, like the pavilion that you're in, it's got there's a roundness to it. There's curves. It's like you sort of enter and you don't have that feeling of walking into a long box with sharp corners and, the central kitchen and the table sort of hugging it. I wonder, do you think there's something in the shape of that space that creates more of that collective kind of feel?
Oh, 100%. 100%. It's almost like it's like a big hug, It's round, nothing's like up and down straight. And then the fact that open kitchen is basically where we do everything, all our prep. Even when there's no service, that's where all the chefs are prepping. That's usually obviously where the front of house are sitting around folding their linen or arranging their florals. And so it really is that community sense within the team. It has to be everyone. There's no chance. At nighttime, because we're in the gardens, we have to man the gate. Basically, the people come in through the gate and we all take turns. And when I say we all take turns, I mean, literally, you'll sometimes see a chef down there welcoming people in. Sometimes you'll see a front of house. Sometimes you'll see bar. You'll see Ellie there. Doesn't matter who, we all just kind of take turns because we want that inclusive feel. I mean, it is. That's just what it is.
Yeah, it's so interesting. You write a beautiful essay in the book about the spirit of collaboration and teamwork and how that flows through to the dining experience. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we're all one team, 100%. And, I say that like you have to keep up. Basically, it's like a very positive energy. You come in and you're seeing it, the speed, the pace, but also the passion, most importantly, that everyone is working on. And you just have this innate kind of pull and drive to keep up. And you're encouraged along the way as well. Like no one's going to let you fall behind. And so, it starts with that, literally day of that. And then as the days travel through, turning into the service period, that's what we see translate to our guests as well. That's when we say, you're going to meet everyone along the way. Sometimes I might open the table, but it'll be our chef Nat who's dropping the snacks that he's just put together. And, we want people to meet all the faces because that really gives it that connection between preparation, delivery and service. It really does. So super exciting.
How do you feel about longevity? I suppose hospitality careers are so often about hopping from place to place and learning different things, feeling like you're done with somewhere and you want to, I don't know whether you want to find a new mentor or a new premises or a different size of restaurant, a different structure. But I think even the fact that, this many people are included in a book that is about a restaurant just creates a different sense of who it is and how important the people are to it. How do you reflect on that?
I mean, we always support the people that are moving on for creative reasons, 100%. You know what I mean? That's one of the beauties, as is the struggles of hospitality, but it should still be embraced. But if you've got your team, a solid team that are willing to stick there and grow, it just creates such a deeper impact because the longer you're there, the more you invest, the more you put your heart into. But that's only comes through a really solid management team who wants to invest in you and look after you as well. So we really just want to create a platform. That's what it's always been about for us, is creating a platform where young professionals can come and they can thrive. They can learn, they can grow, they can just really hone in on a specific technique if they want. If they want to develop managerial skills in the front of house or in wine, we're open to that. We want to talk about that. I mean, we're all a young team, mid, late 20s, early 30s. We've got so much drive and energy, but we need to foster that. We don't want to create a competitive space because we need our people, don't we? Like, we need people working the space. We need people in the front of house loving it. We need people in the kitchen loving it. Otherwise, what's the point? There'll be nothing left.
Yeah, so true. And like, how awesome is it that hospitality needs the people? Because so much of the conversation in the world these days is about, people are going to be replaced by AI. And you just love the fact that that's impossible in this scenario.
100%. 100%. We truly value human connection in our industry. And I absolutely love that. And in Restaurant Botanic, you're probably going to spend so much time chatting to people, like as in us, the front of house, or even the chefs in your dining experience, which I think is not something that we should lose ever, because that's what it's all about.
I wonder, being embedded in the gardens there and, thinking about the trees and all of that stuff, the life cycles of the plants, all of us are embedded in seasons. But I think the sense that you must have it there, do you feel like that creates a different sense of anchoring in the restaurant just because, you're watching the trees grow and you're seeing the branches fall and thinking, oh, that's going to be in a drink next week?
Oh, 100%. If you were to spend a day with us at the restaurant, it's literally everyone just continuously bouncing ideas off each other. And I feel like it's because you're surrounded by this creative space. So we literally have to walk through the gardens to get to work every morning, every night, and which is great when you've had a big day as well and you just need a moment to decompress. You'd be surprised how even those 3-4 minutes being surrounded by fresh air and trees really does it for you. But yeah, so like it's just always you're looking at something's budding, something's flowering, something's changing. Victoria comes in, she's holding some kind of bunch of random something. You see like Nat by the river just picking nasturtiums, and you're like, oh, hang on, that's a good idea. And so it's just the melting pot of just people going at 110 always, which is great because it's just a organic thing as well. It's not forced.
Yeah, sure. It's just, you can't help but be noticing the weather and the season and the changes around you. It sounds very inspiring. Alma, let's get to know you a little bit better. Take us all the way back. Tell us about your childhood and where food came in, drinks perhaps. Like, where does this all come from?
Oh, for sure. So I'm an Adelaide girl originally. Me and my family migrated here from Bosnia. So, but I was born here, so I'm first gen Aussie. I've spent a lot of time kind of hopping from Europe back here. When I hit my kind of, 17, 18 years old, I wanted to spread my wings as us hospo people want to. So start traveling, spent a lot of time in Melbourne. I was actually a chef first. I don't know, when you're like, I just want to do hospo. Something clicked. I was very stubborn as a child. And I was like 12, 13 years old. And I told my parents, I'm going to do hospitality. One way or another, I want to do hospo. I'm going to try to be a chef first. Absolutely loved it. Worked with Voudemont for a couple of years. And I've just really fell in love with policies and procedures and processes. I'm very type A like that. But also the use of native Australian produce kind of started there. Then obviously traveling when I lived in Sicily for about a year and just really exposed myself. And while there was a lot of beautiful wine there to drink, naturally, there was a lot of amazing fresh juices, right? But like fresh juice on a whole nother level, like this prickly pear fresh juice I remember drinking that I'd never thought to drink before. And I think that's where the non-alcoholic thing started to come through. Our family, we don't drink too much, right? We do drink a little bit, but not too much. But there was always a reason to celebrate. And so kind of coming in through the years and coming in through my career and combining that chef style of loving to cook and being really hands-on with the front of house and seeing this little gap of people being like, no, thanks, I don't want to drink anything. Oh, we have soft drink. Yeah, nah, I'm good. Or they'll sit on one orange juice and that's it. We're like, all right, let's go. Like there's definitely a little hole in here that we can fill. And being such a small restaurant, we do about 100 people max in a week. That's like our absolute max. Gives us the ability to do some really amazing boutique stuff, right? It's hard to mass produce. We've learnt this when we've been doing our soda project with BTNC. But when you're in this controlled environment, you can produce some really creative and flavorful drinks. I guess it's just snowballed from there, really. And now we're here.
I love it. Oh, prickly pear juice. What does that taste like?
Prickly pears. Oh my God, they're amazing. I mean, we actually have a few in the garden, only a few though, so it's hard to kind of pick them. Obviously, they're prickly too. But they're like, if you get them when they're beautiful and ripe, they're like a dark pinky red, and they've got this red fruit profile. Imagine like if raspberries met a guava and then somewhere in the middle. Really nice. And it's got this salinity behind it, which we really love. But it just takes on flavour really well too, because it's almost like this puree. So you can cook it down, you can make it into a jam, you can clarify after making a consomme. There's a lot you can do with it too.
Yeah, right. And what about Bosnian food or food culture? Like, was that something that was big in your family?
Oh, massive. I mean, it still is. So for us, so Bosnia, it comes from Austro-Hungarian roots. So a lot of those kind of sweet spices come into play, cardamom, star anise, things like that. But otherwise, it's a lot of pickles, which is where the sweet tears martini kind of makes sense as well, because I absolutely love pickles. But it's also the shared family style, and Bosnians are all about looking after you. Like, we're some of the most hectically passionate people you'll meet. Very full on, very direct, but we'll look after you if we feel a closeness to you. And I feel like that translates in my hospitality career, particularly being with Restaurant Botanic 4 years now, being through all its growth stages. Now it's like I'm fiercely protective over whoever comes in, whether they're guests, I want to make sure they have the most amazing time, but even our team, I want to make sure they're looked after and they get the most out of us as we do them.
I love the hectic passion. How good. So how did your parents take it when you were like, okay, I'm doing hospo? Was that a celebration or were they cautious?
Oh, cautious. I come from a family of doctors and lawyers and teachers, right? Full on. And engineers as well, which is I blame the engineer side because that's where the hands-on comes from. But my parents, they said, listen, if you're going to do this, you're going to do it to the best of your ability. Whatever that is, you're going to have to give it 110% more than in any other industry. But I feel like they would have said that to me, doesn't matter what industry I picked. But that really did instill a drive in me. I did finish a degree because I feel like that's the classic, European thing. Like, make sure you have a degree. So I have my Bachelor of Business Management. And to be fair, I appreciate it truly because it's given me skills and how to manage a team and get the best out of them. And I do think that's super important. Even in our industry, I do think there's certain qualifications that do translate.
Yeah, that's amazing. And what about the leap from the kitchen to front of house? Obviously, you're still, creating with beverage. It feels like you must have brought something with you from the chef side of things to your current roles.
Yeah. I mean, so the jump from kitchen to front of house was purely because I kept spending too much time talking to people and I was getting in trouble. Whenever I ran the food, they were like, all right, you got to just hurry up. And I'm like, no, I really like it. I guess that kind of gave it that switch, isn't it? You're like, well, fire up. I love to talk to people. How about I kind of switch sides? And I feel like I always really, truly respected chefs because, I mean, I only saw it a little bit. I wasn't a chef for too long, I'll be honest, only like 3-4 years in the grand scheme of things, not a long time. But in those years, I've really got to develop a full sense of respect because I really do know what it takes. I mean, I feel like working in the industry, you would anyway, but like you see them grind hard, So the least I can do as a front of house is when I go and explain the dish, whatever it is, I present it the way they want it to be presented. I look after it when it goes down and I explain it exactly how the chef would want it to be explained. Otherwise, what's it for? All that work they did beforehand, it's almost wasted.
It's so interesting as I reflect on that getting stuck at the table kind of thing. Vue du Monde's one of the first restaurants that I remember, the waiters would come, the chefs would come out and bring you the food and talk about it. Obviously, that's something that you do at Restaurant Botanic as well. But it is interesting, you get those, the chefs who are doing it, their first few days of doing it, they're so nervous. It's just that, am I supposed to be out here? It's like almost their feet don't walk on the dining room floor. But then it's interesting to think about those that really embrace it and they're like, oh, actually, maybe this is where I'm supposed to be. It's, such an interesting dynamic. But I guess also you've got the opportunity where you work now, like the front of house people can also be in the kitchen. Like there's a little bit of blurring of those lines.
Almost, in a way, yeah, particularly for our beverage program, because it's just such a creative space and there's no rules. Truly, no. I mean, the only rules kind of we try to keep it vegan. But even then, if you've got like a really hectically good idea, we'll go for it. But yeah, it's, I guess, that blend of creativity feeding off of each other. It pays in spades massively.
Alma, tell me about the sodas.
Botanic beverages. So, basically, obviously, our non-alc's really massive hit, and we really wanted to enter the market here, first in South Australia, but nationally. But we wanted to do it a bit more of, I guess, an approachable place. So we're like, let's go sodas. I love a good soda massively. So we have our Garden of Health tonic. That's been a classic staple at Restaurant Botanic. People absolutely love it. It's a tonic water that carries a lot of flavour. It's not the other way around of it's pared back to complement the gin. This tonic is like, if you were to put gin in it, it's almost like a cocktail, but you'd happily drink it straight up as well. It's very floral, it's very botanical, very citrus driven, and the bitterness, it's still there, but it's pared back. It's not too waxy on the palate. We've got our Bunya Pine Cola, which is like a riff on our own cola. It's almost, I like to say it's like if sarsaparilla met in the middle with a cola. Really yummy. And then, of course, the grilled peach, native basil and rose. I love an iced tea. And that's just kind of where it came from. It's like, I love it. Who doesn't love an iced tea? But our sodas are there. They're super flavorful. It was not really about delivering you something like low sugar and healthy. We're like, nah, let's go just all out, intense botanicals, intense flavor. Everything's handpicked, prepared. I grilled the peaches myself before we sent them to production for canning. We've got our marigold that we're dropping. I guess that's more the serious one. So it's this beautiful non-alcoholic sparkling option that's dropping next week. Super excited for that. Call it marigold because the focus is on the tree marigold that we find in the garden as well. It's just got this intense like guava, passion fruit like flavor and aroma to it. So heaps to explore, super exciting stuff. Drink it straight, spike it, you'll be happy for sure.
Yeah, I feel like I'll be very happy working my way through that range, Alma. They all sound so good. You are such a passionate hospitality professional, and I would love to hit you up for some advice for our audience. For people who are working front of house or thinking that maybe that's the role for them, what are some some advice, some watchwords, some smart sentences that you could leave them with that would, carry them through, make them better at what they do?
I feel like there would be two things that I continuously reference myself as well is, I guess the first thing I'd be telling anyone is that there certainly is a future in hospitality and there is a serious career in hospitality. There's actually many avenues, whether it is fine dining, whether it's casual, whether it's a big hospitality group, hotel space, doesn't matter. But I feel like so many of us front of houses have been hit with that thing where sometimes guests go, so what are your future plans? Or what are you going to do next? Thinking that this is like a halfway. And I just continuously just want to remind people like, this is it. This can be it. And it can be successful. It can be fruitful. It can be satisfying. It can take you around the world. It can keep you stable. If you don't want to go around the world, if you just want to set up at home, buy a house, buy a car, build a family, it's possible in this industry. It's not just, it doesn't have a lifespan. It can go on throughout many stages in your own personal and professional life, especially in the front of house. And my other one is like my favorite one. Working in Rockpool back in the day, Caitlin, she was one of our restaurant managers. She always used to tell us, love your neighbor. And I feel like that is such a continuous reminder. Doesn't matter how hot and heavy it gets, love your neighbor. And your neighbor is anyone. It could be the person you're sharing a section with. It could be the wine director that is backlogged with full of wine, so you're going to help them out. It could be the bartender that needs a little help shaking up a cocktail. It could be the chef that's just like really just in it and just needs help, whether he dropped his tea towel, just going to quickly run and grab a new one or however it is. You got to love your neighbor in so many ways, whether it's guests, but it's also the people around you.
Hectic passion. I really, really feel it and love it. No, it's so good. like safe and respectful workplaces are, and such a big, important and ongoing topic in hospitality and, society generally. How do you see that those necessary changes filtering through?
It's just, we're in this point now. I understand that there's been a lot of conversation about this, and as there should be. And now I feel like, and I really hope, because I always try to think the best, we're in this place now where there's many of us new and emerging hospitality professionals that are in that position and place of power or influence where we can now actually activate this change, whatever it might be. And I think there's plenty of changes to make, but we're finally there, which is so important and which is what I really pride Restaurant Botanic on. We're finally there where we're actually looking after who walks in through the doors. Their mood, has it changed? Do we need to do a check-in? Making sure their hours are good, making sure that when they're going off on their 3-day weekend, or even if it's just a surprise Friday night off, that they're fully switched off. There's no guilt. There's no shame. They're just happy living their lives like anyone else would. Hey, it's my weekend. Get back to me on Wednesday. Get back to me on Thursday. For sure, we're going to respect that. And I really hope, and I do believe that there's many of us in the industry, in different restaurants and different fields that are initiating these changes as well.
If someone is in a workplace where they're not feeling those things, what should they do?
There needs to be a discussion. 100%, there needs to be a discussion. You should never be shamed away from it. You should never be guilted away from talking about it. And you should never be made to feel like, oh, my problem's small compared to this person's problem or compared to what else is going on. I feel like it's such a common thing to just be like, oh, it's just the way it's been, so we're just going to let it go. You need to talk about it. You need to talk about it to your manager. And if you don't think your manager's that person, you need to have that conversation with someone else. And sometimes that means externally. And whether it's seeking advice or whether it means actually raising a flag, the conversation needs to happen. Because sometimes it could also just be something that snowballs. You know what I mean? And if you don't have those preliminary conversations and nipping it in the bud straight away, then and there, it could snowball into something worse, include more people. And we'd absolutely hate to see that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be so validating for people to hear and, hopefully will inspire action if that's necessary in whatever circumstance we find people today. Alma, I love chatting to you. This is so great. Is there anything that you want to leave us with? Anything we haven't talked about that you want to say?
No, what haven't we? I feel like we've talked about everything. Book drops in December. I hope everyone is excited to see it. There's just so many beautiful pictures and quotes from the entire team. I'm so grateful for the whole Restaurant Botanic team, the South Australian hospitality scene, but like all of Australia. I feel like we're doing amazing things and I'm really looking forward to seeing where our space grows and check out Botanic beverages as well.
Amazing. Well, thanks for being part of the growth, change, deliciousness, creativity, resourcefulness, and hectic passion. Great to have you on the show, Alma.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This is Dirty Linen, and I'm Dani Valent. We air the issues that the hospitality industry finds hard to talk about, hearing from different people with unique perspectives. We want to hear from you as well. If you have something that needs to be said about a topic, get in touch so we can include your perspective. Contact us at dirtylinen@deepintheweeds.com.au or hit us up on Insta at Dirty Linen Podcast. We can't wait to hear from you.
This